So one of the questions that we get a lot of in this group has to do with leads. How do I generate more leads? How do I get more leads?
Where do I find these leads?
Could I please just have a lead?
Lead me to the leads.
Lead me to where I get the leads.
Where are these leads? Leads, please.
Please. I just need some leads. It's almost like we've got lots of people screaming out for leads. And so my question is well, what the heck is a lead anyway? And so the first thing that I always say is that not all leads are the same. Not all leads are the same. There's obviously cold leads, warm leads, hot leads.
Lukewarm leads.
Lukewarm leads. Who is Luke anyway? But there's all sorts of leads. And so my question is, well, not a question, but a statement. You must treat all sorts of different leads the right way. A cold lead is somebody that doesn't really know you that well. They're not ready to buy from you. They need certain things. Where a warmer lead needs something different. And it all comes down to the level of intimacy and commitment that they're willing to give you. So I wanted to talk into this for a little bit. So if we think about a cold lead, if you don't know a company and if you don't know a person, you're not willing to really do anything much more than click on a link, watch a short video, but you're cold. You're not going to really reply to a message or anything like that. You're just sort of glancing. And this is at the earlier stages. You then get a warmer lead, and a warmer lead will actually turn up to a webinar. A warmer lead will, hey, Matt, a warmer lead will come to an event. And then a hot lead will actually get on the phone with you and talk to you about what it is that you can do. And so when you think of leads, I want you to think of yourself part fisherman, part farmer. Firstly, you're a fisherman, you attract in leads, okay? And this is something you should be doing consistently. It's like a basic behavior of growing your business is that you're increasing the amount of leads that you have, the amount of people that know you. But then that's one activity. The other activity is actually nurturing and being a farmer and growing those leads, growing that relationship into something bigger. A lot of times I hear people say, Chris, I need leads. And it's like saying, you know, I need to have a good life. It's such a big thing. They're not just one thing. It's not a good statement to say. And so what I love to say is that you really need to be building a database. You really need a database, and you need to get people flowing through from cold, new people always knowing you. And so the first question I always ask people is, how do people first get to know you? Because that's a good question. How many people that are your target market have got to know you this week? They didn't know you, and now they know you. This is one of those situations where you have to dig your well before you're thirsty, and you should type that in. Dig the well before you're thirsty, because when you are thirsty and you've got no leads, you try to take someone who's never met you and jam a product down their throat. So the first question is, how am I bringing in new people that never met me? Remember, they're probably not going to buy from you at all for a while. Some might, but most of the time, they need to get to know you. They need to understand who you are and those sort of things. So that's the first question that we want to answer today. The second question that we want to answer is, well, how do we take those leads? How do we grow them into clients? Mm-hmm. You know, how do we actually grow them? And then how do we actually then ascend them or get them to buy a product from us? You see, how do we grow them from cold to warm to hot? And so, you know, you're coaching, there's 580 odd people that we have in Slack that are in this program. And it seems to be this constant question, which is, I just don't have enough leads. And so we wanted to talk to it today, which I think is really exciting. You know, do you want to add anything?
No, you're going somewhere with this. Let's take the train where it's going. Where's the destination?
That's always a good response. And so let's talk about the top of the funnel. Okay, and this is why it's called a funnel, because people drop out until they come down the end. A funnel, it doesn't mind how many times Russell Brunson tries to tell you that a funnel is a website. It's so much bigger than that. A funnel starts with all the people who choose not to click on your ad, and then all the people who go to your website and drop off and then go down. The funnel to me is just the end of the actual funnel. And so what do you think is good activities to do at the top of the funnel with really cold prospects? I'm going to give you some answers, but I want you to type in some ideas. What's a good thing when you're first getting to know someone? Yeah, good. Video, give value. Yeah, good. Easy to follow, easy to consume content. Yeah. 1-minute videos, 2-minute videos, quick articles, quote cards, posts, photos, worldviews, educational. Yeah, nice. That's right. And so then they get to choose whether or not to move forward. So let's say what happens next. Okay, so
Hold on, before you move on, I want to add something, because I did notice a lot of people who were in Slack when Rochelle did her Magic Monday or Tropical Tuesday, whatever she calls it when she does it a day late. She did mention, who's stepping into the online space this week, who's doing a live video. And a lot of you responded with the amazing response of, I want to do a video, but I don't know what to do it on. Every single one of you who's gone through our programs, the very first thing that you've done is you've gone and talked to your market. You've done market research. Now, I want to make sure, before I go ahead, that you've actually done market research to the people who are now on your list. Those leads who may have come in, you only want to be giving them the data that you found. So you've gone and done some market research. You found fears, frustrations, wants, aspirations. If only I could just, at the bare minimum. I know sometimes we're in a rush and we go and do those 5, and then you've gone and asked them some other things as well. When you get those things, those specific wordings that the client or your avatar comes out with, those are excellent video topics. I'm really struggling with eating too many carbs. It's my biggest frustration. Don't you think a really fantastic video might be the one way that women over 40 are giving up carbs and sticking to the broccoli, or I don't know, whatever your program is, right? If it comes to buying a property, the one fear that people in their 30s have buying their first investment property, and 5 ways where you can start improving your confidence and getting property ready. Wouldn't it be a great idea? So those of you who did comment in your Slack channel, I'd love to do a video, but what am I going to do it on? Go back to that message to market matrix that you created, that amazing document. The info's already there. Don't recreate the wheel. You've done it.
It's a really good point. Frequently asked questions are a great way to start at the top of the funnel. Because and someone typed that in, everyone typed it in. So you remember, frequently asked questions. What are your customers asking? That is something, if they're asking that, FAQs, wouldn't that be a great thing for them to first come across from you? What's in their head? Remember, marketing, what Eugene Schwartz says is entering the conversation that the client's having in their mind. And so how can you, and it can be videos, it can be posts, blogs, articles, but it's probably the easiest answer. I'm so glad that Eric said it, is FAQs, things that are easy to consume, that's all about what they want. It's such a good point. And so you're huge. So got a couple of questions that have popped in. You can, Sarah, and it's a good point. Can you have call to actions in your videos? I would say so. Join our group if you like. I mean, why wouldn't you? It's not going to hurt, is it? And then you want to move them through, move them down. And so the challenge is, though, is people wait. They don't start shooting videos. They don't start and create a YouTube channel. They wait. They don't want to be imperfect. And so they're not starting. There's people out there that, that
like Frank Kern today.
Yeah. We're listening to some Frank Kern today, which was cool. But, you've got to get out there and start at the top of the funnel, because guess what the first type of lead is? A subscriber, a silent follower, someone who's just watching your stuff but doesn't do anything. That's the first type of lead. Is a database of people who go, oh yeah, they've got good content, I like them. They don't give you any details, but they're just out there following you. So that makes it this cool, it's your audience.
Yeah, the window shopping audience.
Yeah, they're just looking. They're just trying to figure out whether or not you're cool. And you guys have all of them on your Instagram, don't you? How many people do you know? You're just looking, oh, that's interesting content. Let me know if you do. Oh yeah, I kind of like what they have to say. That's cool. Every so often you might go, wow. And you give them a like. And then then they're in your head, they're like someone that you've liked, but you're not going to get anything from them. You're probably not ready to join a group, but they're just a person. And then we want to move them somewhere, right? And so this is obviously what Sarah was saying. We want to move them to something else. So obviously the next step after that is to turn them into, somewhere that you can actually continually market to them or grow them. Now that you've attracted them, now you want to grow them. So what are some ideas to actually get them in a place where you can actually market to them without spending money? I know we've already said one. I'll start us off, Facebook group. A Facebook group is great. What would you recommend as offline strategies? Oh, why would you bother with offline strategies right now? That'd be my question straight back to what would you assume is offline strategies? I mean, I don't know why you would focus on that. That'd be my question. Why would you focus on offline? Why not just build online? You can reach more people faster. It's going to last forever. You can put a video on YouTube, and in 10 years, that video is still going to be there. So, I would ask that question back. So there's a question. I'll wait to hear the response. But I would focus on online. So Facebook group is one. What else is there? There's LinkedIn groups. What else is there? Your own email database. Absolutely. What else is there? Messenger bots, ManyChats, text messages. There's so many places. So here's the question. How do you get someone over from they're consuming your free stuff to get them on a place where they're on your database and you can actually market to them? So how do you get them into a Facebook group? How do you get them onto a messenger bot? How do you get them onto an email? How do you get them over here? How do you do that? How do you go from Instagram to you're on my email list or on my messaging list? Or how do you get them over that line? That's a question, isn't it? Well, ask them. Well, you've definitely got to ask them. But here's the key. I want everyone to really just how do you get them over the line? You must give them something. You must give them a reason to join the group. Guys, we started a new group, How to Become a Digital Marketing Consultant, I think 6 weeks ago. We haven't spent any money. We've just said when you join this group, you get a free challenge. Free 5-day challenge. That's what happens. You join the group, you get a free challenge for 5 days. We'll help you to do one thing. I think we're up to 500 new members. It was just me just doing a challenge. So write down you can do a challenge. You can give them a lead magnet, like Matt's got his book. Join this group and I'll give you my book, right? What other reasons can you give them to join your group, get on you? And the reason why I'm saying group is because with a group, you don't have to set up any tech. All of you can go to Facebook, press start a group, put a group name, how to whatever, the same title as your presentation, and give them a reason to join it. How simple is that? Why the heck wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you? Like, why wouldn't you start that now? So we've got this cold stuff. Then there's an opt-in line, and you go over here. The fastest, easiest one, Facebook group. Next one is a LinkedIn group. Next one would be, start an email list, right? Opt in here, and I'll give you this. You start an email list. A real cheap one is to use ManyChat or a messenger bot. I think it's like $10 a month to have one of those. Hey, click this link, you're in. So that's it. That's really how to start your funnel, right? So I guess we have two types of leads here. We have ones that are just getting awareness, and then ones that actually become subscribers. So what's the next step? What's the next step of the funnel? So now you've earned the right to be able to push information to them. You know what I mean? They're in your group and they can leave whenever they want. They're on your messenger bot. They're on your email. So what's the next step? Type in, what do you think is the next type of lead? So you went from awareness, subscribe. What happens next? Now you can actually send them stuff. What happens next? Educate. I like it. Educate is definitely part of it. There's 2 E's. The first one's engage. You actually now want them to engage. So here's what's interesting, and it's good to have you guys on, is you actually got to get them to consume your content. It's funny, but you have to sell people to consume stuff they don't have to pay for. You actually have to tell them why they should consume. Things have you got that you never actually consumed it. You see, you went into a Facebook group, but you never watched any videos, you never did anything. Who's with me? Loads, right? There's loads. So you've actually got to sell them to get them actually to engage. Okay, so I'm talking about leads here. Over here, you have leads that have just got awareness of you. Then we've got leads that we've subscribed to. We actually got them into something by saying, hey, join this, we'll give you this free thing. Could be a webinar. Then we've now actually got to get them to turn up, consume the webinar. So that's another form of lead. So many different types of leads, isn't there? And then we educate. Does that make sense? So Melinda, the next one is then we educate. So now that they've started to engage with our content, now we want to educate them to actually turn them into a buyer. So who wants to type out for the group? Type underneath the video on Facebook or type in here on Zoom. What are those stages of leads? Because I think it's important, don't you?
Absolutely.
Like really important.
Well, if they're all asking about it, at least 3 people a week.
Yeah, or more than that. And because the piece I really want to get across is this: you can't just call it, I need more leads. So what type of leads do you need? Do you need more awareness? That'd be the first place to start. If no one knows you, let's start getting awareness. Let's start posting, putting ads out there. Go for it. If you don't have enough, if you've got enough awareness but not enough people that you can actually like send a broadcast to, well, how are you going to do that? Are you going to start a Facebook group, a messenger bot service? Like, what are you going to do? You're going to get them onto SMS. What are you going to do? And then now you've got them there. How are you actually going to get them to engage? This is a question that Helen put in the group. Said, well, I've got all these people in my group.
They're not engaging.
Like, it's dead, it's crickets. And I'm like, all right, cool. Well, at least we know which part we need to work on. You've figured out how to get awareness. You've figured out how to get them in the group. Now we've just got to, increase that and figure out how do we actually engage them. And so that's a different question. So my question to you is how do you engage them? How do you engage them? It's a good question, isn't it?
A lot of people forget when they're about to go and engage, just going back to what I mentioned before, is understanding what your person actually wants to see. Now, I remember starting with a couple of clients year before last on their leads machine. And one of the things they said to me is, well, what do they want to see? And they absolutely tell you in their market research what it is that they want to see. They're telling you what they want to know. So always go back to that research. What do they actually want to hear? Because it's very, I find it happens more often than not. We have our own filter of what we think that they need, but they've already told us what we need. You do not need to make it up, and we don't need to pretend that we know. We just need to ask them and make sure we are giving them what it is that they actually want.
So what do they actually want? This is a tough one. I'm talking about this with our gym manager. Our gym manager, you guys know that we own a few gyms. Our gym manager is so serious about results, like militant. And recently we were talking and said, do you think they want that, or do they actually want to have a good time? Do they want to enjoy themselves? Do they want to have fun, or do they just want to come and, transform their body and it to be serious all the time? And so we had this conversation, and I want to put it out to you because I see a lot of groups focus too heavily on solving problems too early. Not too early. Let me put it a different way. The groups are too serious. Like the group you think about it, you've got a problem, but you don't want to be part of a group that all they do is remind you of your problem and try to solve it. I mean, how many of you sit around late night just watching how-to instructional videos? Or who likes to watch a movie that lets your brain relax and do different things?
And laugh.
And connect. So we've got to understand that if you're putting out content every single day in a newsletter, and every single newsletter is serious, you've got this, you need to solve this, where's a joke in there? Where's some humor? Where's some entertainment? Where's a funny thing? Where's something relevant, you see? Because in that engaging piece, it's almost like you need to create edutainment or valuetainment, where it's things that people actually want to engage with and have fun with. Post a funny pic of this, or what are you doing here, or have fun with it. Because eventually, I don't know about you, but just type in, give me some feedback on this. Don't you get burnt out in a group if it's just, and I'm talking about free groups, not a group like this where people have paid very good money to be here. I'm talking about free groups that you're just engaging with, because I think it's very, very, very important that we understand that any ones that I engage with, they ask good questions. They have a theme, they do different things, and they really just it's a lot lighter. It's a lot more fun. They ask for user engagement. Users feel part of something, right? Which I think is really interesting. So same with your posts and everything else is, make sure that it is some sort of entertainment in there so that people enjoy it. And then obviously then you get the chance to get people to a webinar. Now, there's a point I want to make in this, is people have different speeds. They have different speeds. So some people will meet you on day one, they have the problem, you say the right things, they get on a call and they'll buy from you. Some people have a different speed. Others need to sit and wait, and they won't comment on anything. And so we had somebody join our program. Actually, this person spent over it's $41,000 with us. And this person was following both of us for 4 years. For 4 years. We'd never even heard of them. In fact, it wasn't until they bought their second program that we were like, they said to us, I actually been following you for 4 years. We're like,
we've been friends on Facebook for 4 years.
I was like, really? Oh. Didn't
you.
even know. And so some people have that length of time. Does that make sense, guys? So you're going to have some that, hey, I'm going to jump straight on the webinar, I'm going to go. And then others that are going to wait for your webinar, those sort of things, and keep moving. So you want to have the ability to get people into things fast, and then also other things for people to move slow with. Does that make sense? So I know I'm going to transition into doing some presentation reviews, but before I do, can I share with you all a massive, massive breakthrough that Fast Track Business had in January that meant we've had the biggest month of the last 12 months in a January in a personal development business. And I'm not talking about massive numbers. I'm talking about a few $100,000 in actual cash received and a lot more coming. Because I'd like to share it with you if you guys want to know. This breakthrough happened for us middle of December, and we did one thing different, and it transformed the game when it came to running our ad traffic in our Facebook. And I'm pretty amazed by it. It's very rare that you get to see something that works just so well. And here's what it is. It's understanding the new Facebook algorithm. Backstory. We've been running Facebook ads since 2009. It's not our first rodeo when it comes to that. It used to be easy. It's been getting harder and harder and harder and harder. And we've helped thousands of clients get everything like that going. A year ago, we really pulled back on doing ads for people because it just became so difficult. So we didn't do that much, and now we've figured it out again because the algorithm changed. Midway through last year, our ad costs spiked. It was crazy. It hurt us. It went from $1 to $2 leads to $4 to $5 leads right up to the end of last year. Ads we've been running for years were coming in at $45 leads. And we couldn't figure it out. I was stressed. We created a whole LinkedIn strategy. We created a YouTube strategy. We were diversifying. We're going, well, maybe it's not just this. And then we invested in a consultant midway through December. And from that, a very expensive consultant. And he shared with us that there is a strategy that uses text, that the Facebook algorithm is actually reading your text in your posts. And so if you've noticed in the last month, my posts have got really long and have got an image, just a casual image of us two or something, an image. You'll be able to see this. Here's what the algorithm can do. The algorithm, first off, has 400,000 data points on every single Facebook profile. 400,000 data points. Who thinks that's pretty cool? And so here's what we know is when it comes to the old way of targeting on Facebook compared to the new way, they're chalk and cheese. Anyone saying that they're a Facebook expert from 5 years ago, it doesn't even make any sense anymore, because the old way was you used to target, create interests, do things, and you would choose who to go for. Now it's all about the text that you write. Facebook's AI, who thinks this is pretty amazing, by the way? Facebook's AI now reads the text and can understand which people out there are also that would align to what that text is saying. Facebook can listen to your video and align it with people. So there's this whole new strategy now, and it blew us away. So here's what we did. Massive results. We took the story part of the presentation. Someone write this down. We took the story of our presentation and we've put it in the ad. So we put the hero's story in the ad. Then we say, click here if you want to go through the same hero's journey, okay? Then they join a specific video. We've taken our webinar from it used to be an hour to just a 20, I think it's 26 minute, 25 or 26 minute, just the steps part. So we have the story, they click through, they get the steps. We don't pitch. At the end of it, we offer phone calls. And we were able to get phone calls all last month for under $50 a phone call, with people knowing that a price point is $8,000. And if you can have people say they want a phone call knowing that the product is $8,000 and it only costs you 50, I'm pretty certain you can read between the lines that it's not going to be an unprofitable situation. And so we're sitting there going, wow, there is a massive opportunity. And I wanted to just spend a little slither talking to you guys about it, because it's huge. It's huge. No stack. So it was very cool, very cool. But anyway, my intention for talking about leads was for you to understand that when you say, I don't have enough leads, it's not a reality. You can't say that. It's, I don't have enough awareness, or I don't have enough people that have engaged or subscribed or engaged. I don't have enough people that are on my webinar. These are all symptoms of somebody not digging their well before they're thirsty. And this is about you getting out there, messaging, doing things. So I wanted to finish off by sharing the simplest strategy ever that all of us need to be doing. I shared it in November, I think, last time, which is to increase your network of the people who have the problem that you want to solve. I mean, it's not a very hard situation. Social media, you can use Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. You can find people who like similar things to you. You ask them to be your friend, or you follow them, you connect with them, they follow or friend you back, and then you put out good content, they're going to see it, and you ask them to join your group. You ask them if they want to take a free lead magnet. You ask them to come to your webinar. It's the simplest thing ever. And what I really want you all to do is I want you all to hustle and get your presentation to work so that you can all be in the 7-figure influencer program, where we're showing you how to run ads, where we're showing you how to build your group, where we will talk about all of that. Because in Amplify, and we're very strong on this, we want you to get your presentation right. Because as soon as your prezzo is right, we can pull it apart, we can put it in ads, we can split it down to a 15-minute, whatever, we can make it happen. But it's kind of, we just got to get you to get over that line and prove that it works. Otherwise, we don't feel good about saying, yeah, go drop 10 grand on a marketing ad budget. Like, let's go. We don't feel good about that because we don't know that the webinar is going to work. Who can appreciate that? Like, we want you to get your webinar working. So, or your live presentation working, because then, like Craig the other day, we flooded his event. I think he made 25 grand his first one, 18 his second one. Angela had 22 sales last week. We've got Rachel in there. She had her biggest month ever, 24,000. Congratulations. Colette made 18 grand last week off an automated webinar. Like, they're all there. You've just got to follow the system, and you've just got to hustle and get over that line. We really don't want to have people over there without their presentation, exactly as we want it. So go make it happen. It's leads are a symptom of not getting out there and sharing your message and doing what it is you need to do.
On the topic of getting out there and sharing it, one thing I think is really important that I've had a couple of people ask on the coaching calls when they start getting clear on what they want to put out there is, we're all human beings. When you see the same thing over and over again, our mind starts to drift. We get kind of turned off to what it actually is that the person is talking about. I don't know about you, but sometimes when I have my free time and I'm just sitting on the couch looking at my phone, or I don't know, in the queue. Apparently we're all in the queues on our phones these days. But sometimes we're looking at videos. Sometimes we want to read a long post. Sometimes we're interested in a quote. But you have to chop and change it up. I know some people said, I just love doing these Facebook Lives. But what about the person who's sitting at their desk and can't turn on your Facebook Live and you haven't got subtitles? They need to read it. What about if you have a long post, but they haven't got time to have a long post, but it's that quick little quote that they see that you said exactly what they need to hear that day. You created that engagement by saying, yeah, I'm all in underneath, or whatever you want to have. And it creates that diversity in what it is that you have to offer. They can engage in it. They get curious and they start wanting more and more. But if you do keep sticking to the videos, or you do keep sticking to the really long posts or the really short posts or just the quotes, it's hard for them to grasp and gather exactly what it is that you're doing and how you can help them. So what I've seen to be really super successful, and I know that one of our amazing success coaches, Hannah Nyes, is on this call, is in her group, she's doing quote cards. Sometimes she's writing a long post. I see her emails as well that are sharing parts of her story. I see her going live in her group. Having that diversity is really key. And I know that
here's something that my marketing mentor said to me right at the beginning of my journey, and I want you all to hear this. He said, you are going to be so bored of your marketing message before anyone else, because you're going to have to say the same thing again. Who can appreciate this? Just quietly, do you know how many freaking times
it's fishing?
I've talked about fishing and the placebo effect? Like there's probably 500 freaking videos out there about it. But I know that that's what the person has to hear. They're going to hear it and hear it and hear it. But the truth is, so you're going to say it and say it and say it, but they're not on all your videos. You don't need this huge amount of content, and that's exciting. And so, one thing, a record with a scratch. Thanks, Hannah. It's so positive. So one thing I did is I was on a challenge, and I recommend you all run a challenge, 5-day challenge or something. I'm running a challenge at the moment, how to become a highly paid digital marketer challenge. And I wanted to show them just all how quickly and easily, you can find leads by just asking a question on your Facebook. And so I put this question out, okay? And I was showing them how easy you could find people who need what you have. I said, who is a business coach that can and wants to take on more clients? And I got 15 people who said yes, and about 8 or 9 personal messages, and it's only been 3 hours since I put it out. By just putting a question out there, I found people who obviously have a problem, right? Who's a business coach that takes on more clients? That's all I asked. And all these people start saying, oh, yeah, I need it. And I say, if I was to continue that, I'd say, oh, great, cool. Well, do you have a presentation? And they'll probably say, no. I say, wow, gosh, you need one. Can I give you free training on how to get your presentation right? Can you see that? I literally just went fishing and I did it as a demo. And so, Melinda's on here. I know you could put posts out, like most weeks you could do this. Who's a first home buyer that needs some help? ? Tag them below. That's a post I would boost, Melinda. Who's a first home buyer, or who knows a first home buyer that needs some coaching? Tag them below. Win a free coaching, right? Matt Morrison, people needing finance. Who's wanting to become financially free? I'd put that as a quote card, put it on my page. I'd be spending, $200 a week just boosting it out. Tag someone. Free contest, giveaway. If you've got a lot of time on your hands, one thing I'd be giving away is samples. Free samples. Hey guys, free 1 week of coaching, free session of coaching. Hey, if you've got time, don't have people sit there and wait for them to pay you. Give them a free sample. Give them a taste of the ice cream. Here, try this. Hey, free sample. What about a contest? Write that down as well. Free samples. What about contests? Couldn't you just give away, hey, tag a friend who needs 3 months of mindset coaching. I'm giving one away worth 20 grand. I don't know, 5 grand, whatever it is, 2 grand. I'm giving one away. Right? And if you've got no time at all, you say, well, I've got no time. Well, maybe you partner with someone who does have time. JVs are a great situation. JVs are that's what I always tell everyone. JVs are the highest and fastest and easiest way to do it. Paid ads are a great situation. You know, they are. You either pay with your time, pay with your money, but you still got to pay. It's never free. And so, you know, why not put an ad out, Sarah? I'm not sure of your niche off the top of my head. Do you know Sarah's niche?
She went from being massively overweight to a
weight loss. Good.
Champion.
So I would put, you know, a before and after pic, and I'd say, you know, 6-week weight loss challenge. Or what about, you know, free? You know, it could just be some videos or something like that, or 21 days. So one of the things we do in our gym is 21 days for $21. You know, why not 21-day weight loss kickstart for free? Join now for free, and it's 21 days. They join in, and it's a bunch of videos they just consume. You know, what about win a month's worth of health coaching? Tag a friend. I don't know, like one person will win. Like there's so many cool options for you to generate leads and excitement. You know, yeah, and they're everywhere, and it's just testing and going for it and giving it a go. So what I've written down here is contests. You guys should all just run some contests. Hey, win this. The second thing I've got written down here is questions. Just ask question. Who's got this problem? Who needs this? I know Rahi and Talitha, you both commented on it, and it was great because you're the perfect person that I'd like to work with. That's why you're in this program. So questions. Next one, challenges. Why not have a group based around a challenge? You know, Talitha, you're a sales coach, you know. Why not do a
double your sales,
20-day double your sales challenge? Join now. And in 20 days, why don't you start one each month? You could just have them start each month, 28-day sales challenge. You know, like Matt could have a 14-day financial freedom plan challenge, you know, kickstart. You know, we could have an event. Why not have an event? Free event where I'm gonna share my presentation. What about a group? There's so much. Oh, marketing's huge, Jack. You know, there's so much options, and so I guess whenever I hear this, you know, I don't have enough leads, and I know that I'm going to have this same session probably once a month. Is leads aren't the problem. Leads are the symptom. The cause is not taking enough action. You could all give away free samples. You could all run free contests, couldn't you? Just give me a yes if you know this to be true. You could all run a challenge. That's true. Thanks, Melinda. The right type of action. You could all do an event. You could, in worst case, if you ran an event, I'll tell you an event that I'm thinking of. Maybe someone wants to help me with it. I'll share this out there because it didn't get put on my monthly plan today. We did our team monthly planning and it didn't get put on. I got told I have to wait a month. But I'm thinking about running a networking event, calling it the Conscious Entrepreneur Network. And here's the plan. It's going to cost $20. I'm going to message conscious entrepreneurs or people that are in that. I'm going to say, hey, you seem like a conscious entrepreneur. You live in Brisbane. There's a conscious entrepreneur networking group on Tuesdays. There's dinner, there's a talk, and there's some networking. It's $20. Would you like to come? And I reckon that I'm going to have people pay $20 that will sit in the room. They'll be my perfect target market. And I'll just get to stand up and say, hey, Conscious Entrepreneurs, my name is Chris Duncan. I organize this. I've got a few speakers. I've got Melinda coming in to speak about first home buying. I've got Matt Morrison in here on finances. I've got Hannah zooming in from Germany. She's going to talk about Divine Sparkle. They're all going to do 10-minute talks each. A little bit about my company. We help people become speakers and to get their message out to the world. We'll have a few presentations. Some of you can ask questions, and then we'll network. We'll have some food. How many of you could do a blimmin' networking event, right? You think, you know, there's just so many. Who thinks that's a good idea, by the way? Anyone want to help me do it? I got told we don't have enough time. And I want to do it. I really want to do it. I want to do one of the Gold Coast. I want to do one in Brisbane. I want to do Sunshine Coast. I want to do Melbourne. I want to do Sydney. Conscious Entrepreneur Network. Don't worry, I've already bought the domain. If anyone's going, I'm going to go grab that domain. But it's a good idea, isn't it? Like people would come to that. Not everyone, but I could message them on Facebook, you know, and say, oh, sorry, on LinkedIn. Hey, would you like to come to this? Hey, would you like to come to this? Do you know what I'd probably do to get lots of people there? I'd probably sponsor the first one, and I'd say, look, they're normally $20, but I'm giving away 50 free tickets. Can I confirm your free attendance? And then I'd probably say, you pay your $20, and when you turn up, I give it back to you. You get your $20 back on the door.
We're getting American on it now.
I probably would do that.